So didn't Tiger Lily just turn 2?
On the 8th.
She was maybe like 4 months there. So stinking cute. And she conned us. This cat totally conned us. She had competition. There was her stray mother, who we fell in love with.
Oh.
That's my thread.
Okay.
There was her stray mother, who we fell in love with. And then the reason why we fell in love with her is because we found that she was pregnant. She was just an outside cat that was stray that, you know, we were taking care of. I think some neighbors actually moved away and left her behind. Wasn't that right?
I think so.
Yeah. And I noticed she was pregnant. So we waited till she got good and fat and let her come inside to have the babies. And y'all can see all those videos from the channel. You can see her giving birth on the channel 2 years ago, about as of February. And so she had a big litter to compete with, and she played us like fools, man. She would snuggle up on our laps and just like kind of use us to hide from the rest of them, and was just acting all sweet to us. And as you can see, was just, you know, all playing in our laps when she was little. And then she got bigger, and now she hates being on the couch. She hates being held. She hates being in the lap. She is not a snuggly kitty. False advertisement, I say. False advertisement. Welcome to the Lost Forgotten channel.
You guys check out the video I posted earlier. You can see a sweet little kitty biting my nose.
So, wow. Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, fish and crustaceans and cuttlefish and octopods and other mollusks and associated invertebrates, dragons, fairies, unicorns, binicorns, don't forget the binicorns.
Midgets, dwarves, motherfucking unicorns. I don't want this white girl make it.
But regardless, welcome to the Lost Begotten thing.
Did the power go out?
No.
It's kind of bright.
No, this is the webcam glitch. I didn't fix it so they could see it. So, earlier I turned off the auto light feature and adjusted the lighting, and now the wheel is spinning, but the hamster is dead. I mean, the lights are off, but somebody's home. I don't know.
The fish is swimming. There is no water.
Yeah. So this is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix the webcam. Apparently the driver has been glitched again, or what?
The singularity is gonna explode.
I've seen a lot of webcams, you know, have like little problems here and there. You fix it, you move on. This computer has been used for school homework and
Warcraft.
Facebook and this, like that. That's it. So it's very interesting that the webcam driver keeps going bad on it. It's because I'm black, isn't it? Wait. No, wait, I'm white. I keep looking at the screen and soul brother. How about that?
Hey, soul brother. Hey there, other.
I already feel like little white kids want to be more like me. Just in the suburbs. Just in the suburbs. The little white kids around here, oh, they have different feelings. Say, boy, what you doing in this part of town?
All them pesky little felons.
Okay, so let's see here.
All the felons.
Configuring the Logitech video camera while the merface sings a small operetta about Freudian psychology. Felongs, all those felongs for your mama. Felongs feeling that your penis is small.
I don't care about your felons. 84% complete.
Okay, so I'm now going to screen share a fun little thing so we can all see what's going on with this. Alright. So here we go. We have the Logitech configuration menu, okay? And contrast, color intensity have been turned way down. Ah, that's probably too far.
You were red. Whoa! Wait, yeah, that's cool.
These aren't even working. Right light.
You gotta give it a minute.
Right light. Auto. 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 Right light. Auto.
Whoa.
Ah!
Oh, that's a weird color. We're
Singularity
retro.
just fucking exploded.
We're retro. Check it out. Oh my god, I'm pasty.
Do not throw foreign objects in the toilet.
What?
I don't know.
No, my face is like I don't have a face.
The hell? It's coming off of my head. It's like
You're-
amplified old man fuzz just turning into a fucking unicorn horn.
What? This is the Hills Have Eyes
I
shit.
see the center of you.
It's my... Whoa, the white
Okay.
balance is moving on its own. Check that shit out. Oh, man.
I feel like I'm in a 1960s music video. But sir, they've gone to plaid. Okay. So
Try turning the brightness down. Maybe the contrast or the exposure. Your exposure's up kind of high.
restore to defaults. Ah!
Hey, but we need mirrored instead of normal because that's too. No, please.
And now I can give myself a high five. High five. Okay.
Holy shit.
Alright, and now we've switched back to the glitch in the matrix. I mean, something.
So your contrast and your color intensity were way the fuck up too high is what it was.
No, but they were there when we started. That's where they were. That's basically how everything was to begin with. I don't understand.
Neither does your face.
Oh, I get it. The right light thing uses an infrared sensor and whatever spyware that the Kremlin and whoever used to use my webcam when I don't want them to. They have to have that enabled to be able to do that. So if you try to undo that and just go to manual settings, next time you try to load the camera, it's just all fucked up.
Remind me to like double check that shit's like pointing straight the fuck up.
Earlier,
Broadcasting.
the broadcast earlier today, the camera just went all fucking blurry, and that was because of the same thing. And now it went completely dark. But at least now we can go restore to defaults,
And then mirrored.
and then turn this bullshit off.
What's with the anti-flicker?
Anti-flicker.
Anti-flicker.
Yeah, I don't need no anti-flicker.
I'll flicker if I
Alright,
want to, bitch.
so brightness. There we go. That's fine right there. And contrast. No, less contrast. Okay. And this fucking thing here is weird. I don't know what that does. Alright. Oh, okay. Just in the middle. It's fine. White balance determines how blue your face looks.
Blue, blue.
How blue my face looks. I might be part Smurf, you never know. You have to be scientific about these things. Consider the possibility that I might be part Smurf. No, that's just a joke. So did y'all enjoy the that we just had to endure? Happy 420.
7 more minutes of it, 6 more minutes of it for us. Ew, what are those things?
Yes, these things. So, welcome to the Lost Begotten channel, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today we have relaxed set of programming. We got earlier today we talked about the high gas prices. We talked about how shitty it is to have to rent when you're almost 40 years old. And we talked about how maybe certain Japanese, maybe certain European cars weren't produced in this country, not because of, profitability and bullshitty business practices, but simply because they were too good. You had to keep people from coming together around good cars, because it would have happened like rednecks and import guys would have gotten together around the R34 Skyline. And then we had, the breaking, unbelievable, shocking news flash, several of them that coincide with the theory that Trump is an embarrassment. And tonight we have just deleted the fucking other headlines. Damn it. So I need to get them back up. That was supposed to be a smooth transition, but it didn't turn out so much. Oh, what the hell did I just delete then? I deleted something. I hit the delete button and a rectangle. It has little white rectangles on this program. One of them disappeared. Anyway. What's happening, James and Maximo and Carlos? How y'all doing? Good to see you.
This thing?
I hope you're,
This thing that you ordered?
What?
When you open up the menu, instead of looking at the computer menu, you remember that really, really crappy phone I really didn't like, the Windows phone?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Oh.
Windows 10 apparently
The
looks
new
like
laptop is right there.
it's updating. We're restarting and working on updates for the last hour. You would think a brand new computer would come already updated and ready to go.
I recorded a race earlier, or I saved the replay at least. Trying to beat the Daytona 3-lap in an S2000.
The Daytona road course.
With just a sport exhaust and close to stock suspension, like just sway bars, no camber kit, and some 7.5 kilogram springs. Okay, so nothing that you couldn't drive on the street, nothing that you couldn't actually get, off of eBay. And it took me like 5 tries, but I eventually won the race. So, got a couple other, I did an exciting Nürburgring race. Because, also in an S2000, but with turbos, lots of big fucking turbos. Giant, huge fucking turbos, but giant, never mind. This long, I mean, wide, and hard, and throbbing. Wait, no, that was earlier. Big fucking turbo S2000. I think it has like 520 horsepower on the game. But racing against like the McLaren F1 GTR, fucking like all kinds of drastically faster cars. And I wrecked slightly. So then it wound up being a bit of a nail biter finish. I did the similar race in a fucking Honda Odyssey minivan, which is weird because it actually seems like the Honda Odyssey minivan might be faster.
Fucking minivan.
It's all-wheel drive and it's got a V6.
It's a minivan.
If you like lighten it and set it up for racing, it's not that tall. You know, it's got pretty good chassis stability.
You might as well have a CRV.
And the Japanese one had all-wheel drive. So you can set it up on the game with a rear bias to where, like, it's got power oversteer.
You might as well have a CRV.
True that.
I mean, I'm just saying, a minivan is pointless unless you've got like.
Oh no, I'm just being humorous, dear.
Oh, because you used
we
to
have
push.
An orange.
You used to push for the Honda Odyssey. You sure you don't want to get the Odyssey?
I was kind of joking, dear.
You sure you don't want a minivan?
I was joking, but like, just because you acted like you hated it so much, like.
I just hate the concept of a minivan.
Right. But as far as minivans go.
Well, yeah, it comes
the
with
Honda Odyssey is like a
vacuum.
little Lamborghini version of a fucking minivan.
It's got a built-in vacuum cleaner. That's fucking pimp shit. I wish the CRVs came with that. That's fucking awesome and useful. Like beach going, like that's the one thing I always have like a bitch time is getting the sand out of my fucking car after going to the beach. Fucking vacuum. You just vacuum the kids off before they get in the car. You gotta worry about getting the sand in your car. Get the fucking sand off before everything goes in the car. Aw, genius. Although I do like that I have the table.
I realized Honda Odysseys were something different than the average minivan when I went with the Louisiana Bucket Brigade, okay, which is door-to-door canvassing for basically combating the whole Cancer Alley issue around here with all the chemical plants.
Which is right where we live.
Domain and shit like that. So anyways, we drove across the causeway in this minivan. And she's just fucking 17-year-old girl, I think was like the daughter of the head honcho or whatever. 84 miles an hour. Like in no time flat. I'm like fucking counting the number of people. So I'm sitting there weighing everybody in my head like, what the fuck? This thing's got power. So I think that was my first experience with a Honda V6 VTEC. Dragging a bunch of hippies across the lake. It used to be the world's longest bridge a long time. Is it 24 miles? 25 miles?
It's the world's longest bridge across water. For sure. I think it's the longest bridge. Yeah,
there's no islands. It's the longest bridge that's got no islands.
It's the longest bridge in the U.S. for sure still, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, what, 24 miles or some shit like that? It's a lot of water you're driving across. And lately, there have been a lot of people, like, driving drunk and whatnot on it and driving off of it. Like, the guardrails aren't holding up anymore.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. That water's a little bit brackish.
A little bit. We got fucking bull sharks in there. and pink bottlenose dolphins.
So anyways, we're still waiting on the laptop.
It's going slow. We're only at 13%.
Y'all still with us?
The comments
everybody
have kind of died.
Said hello and got quiet.
Right? Or were we just like that boring?
Everybody's busy smoking pot because it's 420.
Cheeky bastards.
So,
where are you going?
I'm trying to scoot it a little bit closer.
But then it's going to be in the Wi-Fi.
A little bit closer. Never mind. Kind of sit there and be in my way, but try to get it in the view a little bit. There you go. Oh yeah, that's a lot of help. Yeah, you can't really see it. Maybe I can mess with the webcam settings again. Or wait, no. I'm gonna get my phone because I took a little video. And I can let that load up. And Kira can tell you all about her new little Mises friends.
Oh, they're so cute. When you put the little golden pearl food in there with them, they grab them and they swim around like this, holding them. It's so freaking cute. And they got little babies. Apparently,
Golden Pearl's a little tiny food pellet.
Apparently, somebody was pregnant, or some bodies were pregnant up in there, and we got little tiny dots that I assumed were leftover food that were floating in the current. After staring meticulously at it, it started twitching like a mysis does, so got closer, and they are babies. So we have a breeding ground in there, which is pretty sweet.
So the $50,
it was worth it. Bruce looks better.
Saved Bruce and got us enough mysis on top of what he ate rather voraciously, along with the that blue damsel in there ate a lot of those mysis.
I'm surprised her stomach didn't explode.
But we got this backup population in here, and we have an ass ton in the sump, and I've removed the pre-filter sponge off of my sump pump, my return pump, and it's got the impeller in this pump. It doesn't grind up what it pushes through. You know, it's kind of loose chambered, if you will, and it's designed to allow planktonic pass through. So hopefully these little tiny baby mysis, once they populate in the bottom sump, and they're already, like, there's a shit ton of babies down there already, they'll start to, you know, get spread throughout the system and be feeding Bruce on a more continuous basis, because all those babies will get basically just be constantly squirted into the top tanks, you know. And that's basically that's the concept of a refugium, is to have a place with no predators for the planktonic life, and all the waste and the extra food from the overflow from the top tank, or top tanks in my case, goes down there and feeds these little planktonic critters, mysis shrimp especially. If you got some mysis shrimp in your refugium, you got a nice refugium going. But that and copepods and all kinds of other little crustaceans make these little tiny planktonic, they call them nauplii. It's like the larval form of the baby, you know, still with the little yolk attached, okay? And just, they're little tiny guys that just swim around and spin their yolk, and they'll get spread through the system, and they feed everything from small fish to anemones, and then some of them will get hidden in the rocks and be able to actually grow up and hide, and maybe even start breeding in small hiding places inside the top tanks, and then further keeping your fish fed, keeping the tank clean. Saltwater reefing is the most fascinating hobby. It really is. I can't wait to get more into the aquaculture side now that we've done all these experiments. The most difficult thing about aquaculture is something that I experimented and developed new methods to master. And when I told some other breeders that I had a rotifer without sterilization running for 2 months straight, they were pretty fucking impressed. A little bit shocked in disbelief, actually. But I like my system. It's not that hard to maintain. It saves on water, so it's actually lower cost than what most people use. And rotifers are what you feed to the babiest, smallest fish. Okay, so if you want to start aquaculturing any kind of fish, it's the most handy, smallest thing to start with. So you can go to more rare, endangered fish. You can go to more expensive restaurant type fish.
Mahi mahi.
And I want to get into a little bit of all. I think, doing like delicacy fish will help me fund the coastal restoration and endangered species restoration or replenishment. Because there's a lot of little guys getting gobbled up by lionfish because all the fucking coral's missing down on the lower levels, and all the lionfish are starving because there's no breeding grounds for the smaller fish down there, and all the lionfish are heading up. .420 was today's date, and .420 represents a lot of things. Let's see, what was it? Hitler's birthday. It was the time Jerry Garcia died. It was the number of years that I was apparently gone from this world. Which, as far as I know, only the latter of those three is true.
Universal.
Maybe the people that put me there made up the other one. But somehow or another, it has become the celebration of the Platypus Day. It has become the International Pot Smoking Day. Nobody really knows why.
There was a rumor a long time ago that it used to be the code that police officers would use for somebody suspected of having marijuana on them was .420.
That was in Metairie, that was in Metairie. It was just where we live.
Really?
Yeah, that was just some dumbass kid said that and spread around for a little while. So anyways, we have some headlines.
Sorry, I'm fascinated. They're like playing down there in the corner. It's like,
hopefully soon the webcam on this laptop will allow us to broadcast facing the TV, and we'll have like a new studio look type thing going on here. Anyways. But, we just keep on upgrading and putting more and more effort into getting the same number of viewers. That's kind of fucking tedious. Maybe the next plan that I have will look good enough. And with the channel trailer I'm trying to work on, we'll actually get some more subscribers and stuff.
Are we supposed to turn the nicest light off ever?
Oh yeah, I turned it off last night.
Did you?
Yeah. You can turn it off if it's irritating your eyes.
No. I'm just... They're so cute.
So anyways, you got your headlines there?
Yes, headlines.
Crushia Dumpty.
So this is like a whole bunch of different headlines all together in one subject line.
Crushumpty Dumpty.
So, do we want to start... Let's see, hold on. I guess we can start from the bottom and work our way up. That's probably the best. What you doing, Kurt?
Oh, I was just going to right before we get started check in with our special correspondent Alex Jones to see what he thought of the laptop. Oh my god, I can't believe it. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was special. He's a special guy. So, I guess we're just gonna move on. What were you saying there? I kind of regret that decision to check in with Alex Jones. Maybe I should check the see if those tweets ever sent. Did those tweets ever sent? No, the tweets never sent. Can't do that. My little repetitive tribute to Craig Ferguson.
So, I guess we will start with the French election.
Oui.
Oh, oui. So, apparently, I haven't been following the French election very closely. I hear that it's got like a whole bunch of issues and that it's a very, very tense and close race, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye.
But so you got the current president who's rerunning, and then you got an opponent who's running against him, right? Okay. So Trump apparently supports the current president. Today, Obama made a call in support to the opposition.
Wait, I thought Le Pen was the opposition.
Le Pen's the opposition?
Yeah,
I thought Le Pen was the...
Oh.
Okay.
I don't think.
Crap, I need to get the phone. Like I said, I haven't been
you should
following
have your phone. You should have your phone.
Shit. Here. Oh! I'm old.
So basically, we have current president and former president doing contrary diplomacy because the current precedent. God, I couldn't even accidentally get it out that time. Doesn't have American values and doesn't have American interests in mind. Oh, and Carlos, I don't think they have that minivan here in the States. I think I've seen it though. It's actually pretty sweet. It's not. It's kind of. It seemed like kind of a tribute to the old bus. That's for you. So what was that thing about oh, I guess I could go with the Assange thing instead. Julian Assange, apparently the was it the FBI? Our shadow government, I guess, the real government, not the FBI sting operation that's pretending to be the government, has drawn up a prosecution indictment on Julian Assange. He is officially going to be prosecuted. Whether or not we'll get our hands on him,
neither of them are the current president.
They've brought charges. Yeah, one is endorsed by the current president. One is a pro-NATO, pro-unity, right, pro-EU establishment candidate, I guess you'd say. And then Trump is supporting Le Pen, who's the far right, basically daughter of a French Nazi. I mean,
yeah. So
move
on. You covered the Assange thing.
Korea. Wait, what you got?
I don't know. All this like ties in together with like Russia. And,
well, let's talk about Korea first.
All right.
Korea, then Russia.
North Korea is warning the U.S. of a, and I quote, super mighty preemptive strike.
Super mighty.
And for some reason, all I could think of is Riku's mix. Super Mighty G.
Oh, so I get it. Kim Jong-un's overdrive is full. And he's going to mix a star curtain and a gambler spirit. That was a good. That was a joke for like the geekiest of geeks, right there. Carlos, your sister-in-law is going to vote in the French election. You said. So yeah, it's becoming kind of a scandal that Trump misled the public about possibly Trump misled the public about where the fleet was going, his armada, right? But some people think it's possible that he didn't even fucking know. And that basically the commanders are making decisions, and Trump might even be being kept out of the loop, and is just kind of making shit up as he goes along, kind of guessing with the best of them. It's possible that they're not even giving him accurate information. Why would they? He takes that information. He has taken that information and handed it straight to the fucking Russians before. 2 weeks ago, in fact. Isn't that special? I am trying to get over a fucking migraine headache. Got about an hour of sleep last night because I got the racing wheel working. And at the end of every race, I just kept on saying, this is going to be the last one, and then I'm going to go to bed. And then I watched the replay and decided I wanted to race again, just every fucking time. And before I knew it, it was like 4 a.m. Yeah. I just wanted to race one more time, and then, yeah. So, I'm feeling like the strength in my shoulders returning from sitting there wrestling this steering wheel. But the force feedback's only on like 4, but there's not a whole lot of difference because it's the Pro, apparently. Now that I've read up on it, I fully appreciate the old steering wheel that I have. And now I even considered, like, I might pay someone to fucking repair that thing if it ever breaks again. Like, in a way that I can't fix anyways. So, more heading lines there.
X-Files.
Before I get talking about that shit too much.
X-Files is returning.
Oh boy.
Speaking of Russia.
Oh boy, X-Files.
10 episodes. It's been picked back up.
Hail the victorious Shillaverse. The X-Files is returning.
Oh, so I saved the best. Did I save the best for last? Is that one on there?
What's that? What you got?
Are you going to talk about the Russia banning the Jehovah's Witness?
Oh, no. What about this Dow Chemicals thing?
Well, wait. No, I'm not done with the
Oh, Russia? Okay. Well, yeah, we're still on Russia, I
We're
guess.
still on Dumpty. We're on Trump.
Okay, let's... Yeah. Well, what about Jehovah's Witnesses thing?
So Russia has decided that they're going to ban Jehovah's Witnesses now and label them extremists.
You know, 100 years ago, they did that to Jews. But what's funny to me is how Russia sanctions the Seventh-day Adventist Church. A lot of Russian shills on YouTube that try to gather Christians up are Seventh-day Adventists. Alex Jones, Seventh-day Adventist. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church model habits and practices other than the whole door-to-door thing. It's a lot like Jehovah's Witnesses. I wonder if they're connected in some way. And I find it surprising. Jehovah's Witnesses, like why? Like it seems kind of random.
I know some Jehovah's Witnesses. They're actually very nice people.
Seems to me like 100 years ago with the Jews, they're going to be trying to promote a mass exodus of these people, right? Possibly the Seventh-day Adventists are going to be like pretending to think they're next, or made to believe, like propagandized to think that they're next, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be basically waves of these people, Seventh-day Adventists and Jehovah's Witnesses, going to Europe, America, and everything. And it's going to be a whole new set of programmed infiltrators for the next century's objectives. It's just fucking amazing that right now, just 100 years later, just the same fucking shit is happening in different ways. At just, slightly different times, different names, different places. Well, not entirely different places even. What's up, Joey?
So do we want to cover Dow and then get to the funny, or do we want to cover the funny and then get to Dow?
No, let's go to the Dow dildo.
Dow dildo?
Dumbass.
Alright, so as you know, very well know, the CEO of Dow Chemicals is one of Trump's top advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well aware of this fact. Well, he is pushing for the White House to ignore findings of federal scientists that point to pest control chemicals that Dow Chemical uses that are critically threatening or endangering at least 1,800 species.
For fuck's sake, man.
Of animals. Species of animals. And
that's on top of the whole, you can just go ahead and dump shit in rivers now.
Yeah, and we wonder where the bees are going. That's that right there. That right there. Bees are everything to human civilization. Without bees, we have no plants. Without plants, we can't breathe. Guess what, people?
That pisses me off, man. Nice strategy.
Maybe becoming his top advisor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the typical, like, the difference between a Republican administration and a Democrat administration, or at the very least the Obama administration. I really wasn't old enough at the time, and I wasn't, in any position to pay attention on a consistent basis during the Clinton years to observe, in a way that I could consider myself a historian, having observed every little detail of everything that happened during the entire 8 years of the Clinton administration, the way I in fact did during the Obama administration. But the difference that I've observed between Republican and Democratic administrations in general, exemplified by Obama, was they will appoint industry insiders, both sides will, but the Democrat will appoint a reformist within the industry, and the Republican will appoint a leader of the industry. Okay. And the Republican supporters think, oh, well, this person's really experienced. But they never go and make the same logical, objective scrutiny that they make of the Democratic administration. They're always like pointing out, oh, this is a Goldman Sachs person. Meanwhile, you got like the fucking former CEOs and shit of Goldman Sachs and all these other companies, one after the other by Republican administrations. And these are people with records of corruption, not reform. These are people that, want people in the government in their pocket, and then they get put in charge of agencies that used to regulate them. That's what happens under Republican administrations. Under Democratic administrations, you'll have a couple of insiders from the industry, and then you'll have a whole bunch of professors and people who have tried to help push for more regulations on things. Like sometimes they'll be called lobbyists, but all they were lobbying for was, like the environment and shit like that. Anyways. So what else we got here?
Oh, okay. So my last but not least is the funny.
Speak up.
The funny. Last but not least is the funny. This is what got me started doing headlines when I saw that. So we're all very well aware that a judge in Hawaii is the one who signed the executive order that put a stop to Trump's travel ban.
Okay.
Okay. His name is Derek Watson.
Okay.
He is a federal judge. Not just some local judge, not just some state judge. He's a freaking federal judge. So Jeff Sessions is getting interviewed about the whole thing with the travel ban. And apparently this dumb shit right here doesn't believe Hawaii's a state, or doesn't know that Hawaii is a state, or something along those lines. Because he said, and I quote, "I really am amazed that a judge sitting on an island in the Pacific can issue an order that stops the president." Now, if I'm not mistaken, Hawaii was incorporated as a state in the United States in 50...
This whole fucking divisive
6?
mentality these people have makes me sick. Oh, they're just from Hawaii. They're not really Americans.
Sitting on an island. Just a judge sitting
They
on
talk
an
the
island.
fucking same way about the East and West Coast. Basically everywhere where there's not fucking easily brainwashable inbreeders.
Derek Watson is a federal judge that was a sitting judge and practiced law in San Francisco, California. If I'm not mistaken, he even went to law school in California.
Still, I mean, Hawaii's a fucking state. Been a state for a long time.
Right? I mean, like, just a judge sitting in an island in the Pacific can issue an order that stops the president. It amazes me. It amazes me a dumb shit like you can fucking be fucking, what is he, Attorney General? Whatever the fuck stupid ass post they assign him to. My God, how he hasn't been lynched for the bullshit that he pulled in Alabama is beyond me. Sorry, it's just, but I mean, fuck, man, the fuckery. That's too much fucking fuckery from these fucking old white racist Republican fucktards. That's all the fuck it is.
Amen, sister. So, I guess we're gonna check in with the other headlines for the day after Tiger Lily gets done, tearing our faces off. And let's see if I get the screen pulled up here. There we go. Now Chaffetz says he's not leaving Congress. Oh, fuck's sake. You belong in a fucking jail cell. Like, how does anybody not understand that that's a fucking sleazeball? Just a fucking sleazeball. Just look at him. He's a sleazeball. Made a grandstanding career after going after Hillary Clinton on Russia's behalf. It's the only fucking reason why anybody knows who the fuck he is. Go ahead, baby.
I was gonna say that. Oh, the teacher in Tennessee who ran away with the student lady girl, found them about 130. Shut up.
The student lady girl.
They found them about 130 miles south of Oregon's border in Northern California. Apparently, they were staying in a log cabin, I believe. And I don't know the story about how 2 Californians helped, but I'm just assuming that they recognized the car and turned them in. But supposedly there was a lead somewhere in California that they were staying in a hostel. But that turned out to not be true.
Huh.
Oh, and supposedly Anthony Hernandez, is it Anthony Hernandez, the football player, the Patriots guy, that killed himself? You gotta use
supposedly. The Yankees don't like when we say supposedly down here in the South.
I say supposedly, I said supposedly.
You said supposedly.
Whatever. Fuck y'all. I'm from the South, get over it. So he committed suicide. They found him dead in his jail cell this morning. And he never finished the appeals process. And the state that he lives in, Michigan, Wisconsin, one of those, they have a strange law in place that I don't think any other state has, that if you have not finished going through your appeals process, because you know you can appeal so many times a conviction, if you haven't completed that process, then the conviction does not stand. So he was not done going through the appeals process for the 2013 killing of his friend or whatever. And actually, they're both from down here. The guy who he shot and him, they went to school at, like, down in West Bank, I think, somewhere. Or John Christian or John Curtis, maybe. And then there was an issue with the brain. Apparently they were holding it and the family wanted it because they wanted to donate it to that research for the concussions, because apparently you can't diagnose that. Yeah, you can't diagnose that while a person's alive, but the sooner you get the brain after the death, the better diagnosis you can get. So that all got resolved today, and the family got, or the
right
organization that's doing it is going to give access to do the study. And then they've got some fake news going around that's saying that because he wasn't actually convicted and the conviction doesn't stand based upon that law, that supposedly his contract with the Patriots stands, and his daughter stands to inherit the $15 million that wasn't collected from him on his contract. But supposedly that's fake news. I'm sure it is too, because usually there's a loophole for suicides in most any contract. So it's just an interesting story, because he just got acquitted for another crime, for a drive-by shooting. There's been big headlines around here.
All right, so due to an impending scandal, yeah, whatever, dude. You know, please, everybody, just pray that they find the fucking evidence on that guy, because that motherfucker belongs behind bars. He wasted probably, him and Hairlip Boy both, and I think Hairlip Boy probably more than likely the unwitting accomplice, but still very much of a Mike Flynn vibe to Hairlip Boy. What's his name? the other guy, Gowdy, Trey Gowdy. Him and Chaffetz wasted probably $150 million worth of taxpayer money promoting a Russian agenda and accusing Hillary Clinton of some wrongdoing and basically trying to obstruct the establishment of a Russian base in Benghazi. But Hillary Clinton, like a boss, didn't out our secret foreign policy agenda and give that shit away without being asked to it, because the Secretary of State isn't allowed to give away things like that without being directly asked a question. But in 11 hours, the word Russia wasn't mentioned once by Mr. Chaffetz or Mr. Gowdy. Bears extreme relevance, especially if you want to make a case against Hillary Clinton, because they wound up pulling out the whole Hillary Clinton Russia ties after, everything came out with them colluding with Russia. They had to go way back 8 fucking years or 5.5 years to find her meeting, with Russian business people and opposition leaders and shit like that. He didn't mention Russia one time during that whole 11 hours, because he wouldn't want it to get back to him and his agenda in the assassination of American foreign policy, not just Hillary Clinton. So speaking of which, U.S. spy planes, are watching out for a nuke test. What else we have in international news before we get to the obvious thing right there?
I was talking about the Paris shooting.
Yeah, I know. Hold on that. We're going to watch the words that we use when we talk about that so we don't get the video flagged. I just wanted to see if there was any more international war type news. What is our goal with North Korea? And now that everything with North Korea seems off the table since Russia reinforced North Korea. I mean, there's videos now of trains sending Russian equipment to the North Korean border, and I know for a fact that train track crosses into North Korea, and it's Russian shills reporting that Russia just moved up to the border, but those Russian shills are still saying that Russia intends to reinforce Korea to protect, actually the word is protect Korea if attacked by the United States. Protect Korea from American attack. Russia is going to protect North Korea from American fucking attack. So now he's moved on to Iran. Well, Russia's going to protect Iran too. That's their buddy. It's the Upper Meso-Persians in Iran that began the whole, communist revolution. Oh, and welcome, Crushmo. How you doing, bro? I see your good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? But I don't see anything else besides that. All right, so Trump announces his meeting before it is finalized.
With the Pope.
Sponsors fear consumer revolt from Fox. Yeah, Trump announces a meeting with the Pope before it's even finalized. Arkansas carried out its first execution since 2005. How about that?
Wait, I thought
Oh,
there was
boy.
some. I thought there was an injunction in place for them to not use lethal injection because of what's been happening to the prisoners with it not working.
So that's after the injunction.
Oh, apparently, if it
They
was
wound up going through. And if you read in the middle right now, the Islamic IA 8th day claims the Paris shooting. One policeman killed, 2 others wounded when a gunman opened fire, ambushing a group of police officers in Paris, France. And of course, Dish has claimed responsibility. It's funny how, like, it's supposed to be Putin and Trump are going to keep the world safe. And now, since, the fake election, there's just been one fucking thing after another trying to detract attention from the fuckery. That's what it's about. It's trying to detract attention from the fuckery. These are fucking agents. The accusers of false flags are the ones that have been behind anything that's actually a false flag. That's all I'm saying. And these aren't, like a false flag. The definition that Alex Jones gave you of a false flag. I mean, well, let's just check in with him and ask him what he thinks a false flag is. Now look, I've given away my methods. A folder of images. Oh, this is Alex Jones reporting. Alex, calm down for a second, man. I need to ask you a question. What is what were you saying that was a false flag? What was that thing you were talking about on all those videos that you have, like 15 million views? Well, a false flag is when the United States government makes you think that a bunch of children died, but they didn't really die. Those fuckers are growing up to be good little Nazis. Yes, good little Nazis. Really? So, basically what you're saying is that the attack never happened. Yes, that's exactly right. False flag is when the attack never even fucking happened. The government just wants to take your guns. Okay, that's an interesting theory, Alex. Alex Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Jones. Special correspondent, Alex Jones. See, what a false flag actually is when an attack happens, an actual attack happens, but the attackers are wearing a different country's uniforms or carrying, and this is, kind of the namesake, a false flag. Like, a flag that is not the country that they're actually from. For instance, when the separatists seized buildings, the quote, separatists seized buildings in Crimea and East Ukraine, they said, we're local. They weren't fucking local. That was a false flag. When Russian intelligence recruits young oppressed Muslims and turn them into Islamic extremists, the water gets murky because that's something that's going according to an agenda that isn't for the spread of Islam. It's for Russians, cover in the world. And so they can get away with bullshit. And they're just they're drops in the buckets as far as the strategy of perceived, Islamic fucking spread or whatever. But as far as keeping people confused and in a panic, and so Russia can get away with all of its fuckery. That's exactly the kind of purpose they serve. They're ideally suited for that. And you can have many instances in which it's not even a non-Russian. Like, it's not like just a local person that was hypnotized or brainwashed by Russian propaganda posing as Islamic extremist propaganda. And they do that, by the way. You actually have Chechens, Dagestanis. You have all kinds of Islamic Russians that get sent to different places to perform these attacks to blame this fake entity that they've created to insult the ancient goddess name of Isis. Anyways, because they tell you that Osiris is the devil because he was the god of the underworld, even though back in the time when Osiris was the god of the underworld was just called Sheol, and the underworld was a good place, not, evil. The devil was here. There wasn't hell. Hell was created by Catholics fucking 2 millennia later.
Cuba Gooding Sr. was found dead in his car.
Yeah. 72 years old.
They found empty liquor bottles.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father has passed away.
They found empty liquor bottles all up in the car.
Yes, Joey is the master. Stephen Colbert has nothing on Joey's Alex Jones impression. Joey, you are allowed to write out and read scripts and do whatever you can to make as long and as frequent as possible any Alex Jones videos you ever want to make, Joey. Please upload more Alex Jones videos. We love them.
Yes.
Alex on the run. He's going to do videos from his car. That's going to be great. Right. What you need, Joey, is some cop friends who don't like Alex Jones to, play along with you.
I don't think those exist where he works.
No, there's some of them that are coming around. But they can pretend to be FEMA agents. Oh, the FEMA agents are coming to get me! Oh! See, I like doing Alex Jones because I don't have to think of what the fuck he says. I just go, oh! It sounds just like him to me. Fucking fat bullfrog looking motherfucker. Anyway. Trump unleashes the generals. They don't always see the big picture. Oh, sure. It's the generals. Not Trump that doesn't see the big pictures. It's the generals. Mm-hmm. They got me kind of interested. Oh boy, Hannity is on. I can only imagine what that fucking moron's talking about. Oh yes, we're back to having scripts enabled, so it's going to take forever for this bullshit to load. I don't want to shop now at Wayfair. No! Fuck you! Die and go to hell! You bastard! Okay. Sorry, I have Tourette's.
Be careful, Joey. There's a video on Facebook that shows a guy getting his 2 front teeth knocked out by one.
That's funny. Alright, so what the fuck? Can I? Oh God!
I'm sorry, it's 44% on the laptop.
Oh, the fucking thing. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. Ah!
Say no.
Maybe if I growl at it enough, it'll fucking do what I want. Really? What the fuck is going on my hard drive right now? Fuck's sake. So, here we go with another weird cover story. This one's from the New York Times by Eric Schmidt and Helene Cooper. When Admiral Harry B. Harris
Harry Harris. Junior. Harry.
That sounds like a burger you don't want to eat.
Harry B. Harris. I don't want to be Harris. I'm Harry.
Would you like to try the new Harry B. Harris Jr. burger? No thanks. I've already flossed today.
I don't want to be Harris. I'm Harry. Oh, what was the...
Okay, so settle. When Admiral Harry B. Harris Jr., the military's top commander in the Pacific, ordered the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson to sail north from Singapore this month, he was obviously to the larger and oblivious to the larger and incorrect impression that he was rushing a naval strike force to confront an increasingly belligerent North Korea. 4 days later, General John W. Nicholson Jr. dropped the most powerful conventional weapon in the American arsenal on Islamic State fighters in a tunnel complex in eastern Afghanistan. He not only seized headlines around the world, but he also unintentionally signaled to dictators in Syria and North Korea that they might be the next target of what the Pentagon called the mother of all bombs. Massive ordnance air blast. Instead of simply achieving tactical objectives, the timing of their actions surprised their bosses at the Pentagon, upset edgy allies, and caught the White House flat-footed. Taken together, the episodes illustrate how even the military's most seasoned four-star field commanders can fail to consider the broader political strategic ramifications of their operational decisions, and it prompted some current and former senior officials to suggest that the President Trump's decision to unshackle the military from Obama-era constraints to intensify the fight against terrorists risked even more miscues ahead. Okay, so apparently dog didn't get let out before the kids went to bed. And there's either the dog or maybe it was possibly Could it be Alex Jones? Joey, calm down. Let it go. We all have to deal with our own little drama. Just think of it as practicing for being a father, just listening to morons. How's it going, Neville? Anyways, there are a lot of decisions that military commanders make every day on their own without asking, "Mother, may I?" said Robert M. Schur, a former senior Pentagon official. That's pretty big. But they have to realize and take into account that their actions have strategic impact outside of their areas of responsibility. American officials said on Thursday that General Nicholson did not request permission from Mr. Trump's Defense Secretary General Mattis or General Joseph Dunford, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Excuse me. Before dropping the giant bomb, a GU-43/B massive ordnance air blast, or MOAB. It does not appear the White House was aware of the location of the carrier group when Press Secretary Sean Spicer or the National Security Advisor Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster made their public statements about it. White House officials said both men were relying on talking points supplied by the Pentagon. General Nick... Wait a minute. Oh, so that coincides with my theory that it's shadow government and these people are all just victims of a fucking FBI scheme, sting operation. God, I don't want them to go to jail soon so bad. Just they need to go to jail. They all need to go to jail. Every day that these people are not in fucking jail is an embarrassment to humanity. So anyways, General Nicholson already had the necessary authority to bomb the tunnel complex and had it during the Obama administration as well, officials said. But current and former Defense Department officials said that it was likely that if President Barack Obama were still in office, General Nicholson would have checked with his bosses before calling in what is the country's most powerful non-nuclear bomb, because the Obama White House had made clear to the Pentagon that the president wanted to be consulted in major strike decisions. Nicholson and Trump said, "I don't really care. I'm going to go play some golf." Nicholson should have been a little more aware that using the weapon for the first time would be a big story, said Mr. Schur. Even though it wasn't the fucking first time. It just wasn't the first time. It was used twice in Afghanistan and once in Anbar province. And I actually saw the video recently of it being used in Anbar province. And in fact, I have that video for you on my phone. And let me figure out how to use a computer, and then I'm going to get it. Or at least I'm going to begin the process of loading it. Alright, so D. What the fuck just happened? There, okay. Alright, so I'm going to move on while that's trying to load. Yeah, look, they did bother to say it. So, Mr. Trump has made clear. Oh, thank you for not using the word president when describing the traitor Trump. Trump has made it clear that he does not want to be consulted on every little, thing that the military does. What is he, the fucking commander-in-chief or something? He wants the commanders to have more field authority to move swiftly against foes. The timing of, because fucking secure electronic communications takes so long. The timing of the episodes at the beginning of the administration likely played a part, one Obama administration official noted. Once the previous administration's political appointees have departed, the balance of power in the Pentagon always shifts away from the civilians and toward the uniformed officers, said Andrew Exum, a former Army Ranger and top Pentagon Middle East policy official. That guy. That's not necessarily dangerous, but until you get the new administration's team in place, you miss the policy oversight that can sometimes help field commanders, who are appropriately focused on operations. Help them think through the political and strategic ramifications of their actions. Dropping the explosive came in the middle of an already fraught time for American security, with a narrative that began to take hold of an untethered Pentagon freed from Obama-era restrictions. The United States had only days earlier fired dozens of missiles on the airfield in Syria from which President Bashar al-Assad had launched a chemical weapons attack. Mr. Trump supposedly may have possibly authorized that strike, but we do know that he told the Russians that the strike was coming. Fucking traitor. And the country was bracing for a possible showdown with Pyongyang as the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was expected to launch another missile test amid incorrect talk from Mr. Trump that an American, quote, armada was headed toward the Korean peninsula. I did not mean to do that. Into that atmosphere, the announcement April 13th that the United States has just dropped the Moab was itself a dramatic development and interpreted by many news organizations and national security experts that the Trump administration was sending Mr. Kim, or Syria's Mr. Assad, a message. That was not so. An American commander in Afghanistan had simply taken it on his own. Taken it on his own. Okay. To use a particularly large bomb on a cave complex in the remote province of Nangarhar. So, I am apparently still waiting for my phone to